This show is part of the RetroZap.com podcast network.
Now, prepare yourselves for a Starships, Sabers, and Scoundrels Special Edition.
Hello, Scoundrel Nation from Chicago, Illinois. Welcome to this Scoundrel Special Edition. I am your host, Dennis Keithley, and with me are my friends and co-hosts Jay Krebs and Darth Taxus. And we're all in the same place.
Whoa! That is amazing. Hey, Scoundrel Nation, Jay here. It's been an amazing time so far here in Chicago. Taxus to my right. Telling you what.
I am.
This is weird.
Now what am I doing?
Now you're getting creepily behind me and all
Now
over
I'm
to
to
my
your
left.
Now I'm to your right. This is what happens live. It's so amazing.
All right,
sit down,
Dennis.
Taxus. Let's
Yes,
get on with
yes,
this.
sir.
Let's do this.
So if you are new to Starships, Sabers, and Scoundrels, then let me welcome you to our show and our special brand of Star Wars discussion and fun. If you are a regular listener, well then welcome back to our celebration coverage. You've enjoyed us for this Scoundrel Special Edition. As I said, it's for our footage or coverage of Celebration. It's late, Scoundrels. I'm tired. And this is one of our in-between episodes. So, tonight we are covering our initial reactions to the Episode 9 teaser trailer that debuted today at Celebration. And we're joined by some guests. So let's go around the proverbial table for introductions.
Hello, this is Tim McMahon from Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast of the galaxy. Currently on hiatus, but coming back soon, maybe. Oh, maybe I let us a little spoiler out there. I don't know.
So you put that on social media, didn't you?
Oh, maybe not.
The shortest hiatus in the galaxy.
Yeah, I've got like a 5 years.
There we go. Do you want to participate?
Lando Griffin from Phoenix. Oh, Junker Jawa.
All right. So let's talk about the panel, guys. Of course, we all knew it was coming at the end of the Episode 9 panel, and we're going to kind of confine our discussion to the trailer itself. So it opens with Rey breathing heavily, which I wasn't sure about because she was standing still. Then she gets essentially run down by a TIE fighter.
Or did she?
And then she flips over it. Okay, that was one of the most awesome things I've seen in Star Wars
That was
to date. So, was that Kylo that was at the controls? So we never see the face of the pilot.
That was my first interpretation.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely.
assuming it is. But
Especially the way she looked at him.
Yeah.
And going by the gloves and the chest cloth, but to me it looks like him.
Trailers always lie, though, so you never know.
You never.
Yeah, well, I'm just kind of wondering why they bothered to keep it so hidden in the teaser.
So earlier, Tim and I
Yes.
were blown up with the concept that maybe Kylo is training Rey.
Maybe he's not running her down. Maybe this is all a
He's
training
teaching
exercise.
her.
Interesting.
Why else would she
yeah.
be standing
Look at that.
there in the middle of the desert in the open space, just waiting for him to come at her?
See, I really like. Okay, great theory. I like it.
Turn our lightsaber on though.
So
Yeah,
Luke
training.
trained on his lightsaber during training with Yoda.
See, I'm expecting the next part of that trailer to be she slices off the.
But we didn't see that. We didn't see it.
That's right.
Yeah.
They left it hanging like, that's what you would
Now,
expect to see.
To
right?
your point, in the Last Jedi trailer, we had the Rey raising the lightsaber
Sure.
thing, and of course we all know what ended up happening after that. So, all right, well, moving on, we get Luke's narration about how that we've passed on what we know. 1,000 generations live in you now, and this is your fight. So we didn't see Mark Hamill at the panel, and we didn't see him in this trailer. There was no Yoda, no Ben Kenobi, or anything else. Did any of that surprise you guys?
Didn't surprise me
No.
at all. No. Doesn't mean it's not going to
I
happen.
was busy doing things and I didn't even notice. I'm just going to say
Still
that.
processing. I'm so glad we're doing this.
I am still processing
Yes.
too, Jay. You're Tim.
I'm
You're
processing.
closest. You're
Well,
closest
we're
to stage.
processing.
So the room is processing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Processing.
quick poll. How many times has everyone seen the teaser today? Tim?
6, 7 or times.
Taxus?
You told me about it. 2 times. 2 times.
Probably
Jay?
4. 4, I'd say.
Five? Four? Yeah, I've
Five.
seen it 5 times now as well.
I had
Well,
bad
I saw it on the
perception.
floor, and then they replayed it, but Jay, you, I, and were standing right there at the Star Wars show live stage with Colby-Wan,
Yes.
and they showed it full screen, and then they came back and they actually showed us the camera pointing at the screen in the celebration stage. So that was a little weird take,
Yeah.
but I needed to head back to the hotel, and when I got there, I pulled up my phone and checked it out on YouTube with the best audio yet. So
I could not even pull it up on my phone here, so I had to get back here, and I think, Lando showed me exactly what it was, and I was excited.
well, I caught it again. I was actually surprised I got to play while I was waiting in line for to meet Jason Isaacs, and it came right up. I was like, well, okay, good coverage is clear for a second.
StarWars.com has it on their Instagram feed too.
Oh, dang.
I didn't go to Instagram.
Neither did I.
So next part of the teaser is I couldn't tell if there is an A-wing that shows up later in the teaser. But
Yes.
there's some sort of a ship descending towards a planet. Did anyone recognize it?
No.
No.
Too quick.
Okay.
Way too
Well,
quick for me.
Battlestar Galactica?
speaking of planets,
Might be
I
wrong.
kind of skipped over this earlier. Where were they when the TIE fighter was running down Rey?
I assumed Jakku, but
But it seemed more rocky and mountainous.
Yeah. New planet. You
You
know,
think
why
it
do we
might be?
always assume they're going back to the same old planets?
Could it
I
be
like
Batu?
new planets.
Another new desert planet?
I mean,
That
why
was
do we
one of
have
the-
to have one planet with just, always just one topographical,
Oh, that's
That's their
geographical,
thing. That's what
you know?
they do.
But this is new.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
different. Maybe it's JJ. JJ does what JJ does, and JJ's awesome.
So then there is a shot of Kylo going into battle, and he impales the soldier on the vent
Yeah,
portion
impressive.
of his blade.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was trying to pay attention to who he was fighting. You know what I mean? Like, does it look like it's more like evil overlord armor? Or was it like, hey, we're good resistance people armor?
Oh, it looked
couldn't tell.
like it's just regular trooper because there's a stormtrooper in the background
Or what?
firing on somebody.
Looks like he's got a melee weapon, though. Maybe a Knights of Ren?
Oh, I was
That's
thinking
what
that
I
too,
thought. That
dude.
it was a flashback. That's the
Yeah.
first thing I thought of, was that it was some sort of a callback to maybe his memories of the Knights of Ren.
Then there's
Kylo
also
turns on the Knights of Ren.
Right,
And Kylo
exactly.
versus the Knights of Ren.
I thought about that too, Tim. Good job.
so there's a shot of Kylo's helmet getting repaired. So,
Yes.
what do you think?
If you pause it, the hands of the person doing the work are very hairy. And I'm not saying Chewbacca hairy because it looks like it's someone with sleeves, and Chewbacca doesn't wear sleeves. Chewbacca's always naked. Sorry, it's true. But it's not a human hand.
Maybe somebody barbecues a little too close to the flame. You know what I mean? It grows
don't
a
know
little
what
too
you mean.
butter.
Could be
I
a
don't
new
know.
character that we haven't
So
seen.
Kylo obviously disagrees with Snoke about wearing that ridiculous thing.
Yeah,
Maybe-
so-
Yet.
Maybe someone feels about Kylo the way Kylo feels about Vader.
So, at
Maybe
least
it's just Harry
on
Potter.
the Star Wars show, one of the biggest applauses that happened was when we got the shot of Lando in the pilot's seat on the Falcon.
And Chewie was co-piloting.
And Chew's there co-piloting,
Oh,
they're going
awesome.
through hyperspace, and
was
Lando lets
great.
out that great chuckle.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's not much more to say other than that. But so I guess the question I'm putting forth here is that that's the only shots we had of the Falcon,
Yeah.
and it was Lando and Chewbacca as opposed to Rey and Chewbacca, and that's kind of been the succession so far.
Lando is wearing a headset, which tells me he's communicating maybe to somebody in the gun turrets.
Possibly,
Ooh.
possibly.
I was just focused
But
on
in
Lando's
hyperspace,
hair.
why would you need to do that?
That'd be a cool scene.
Yeah.
Well, they said some time has passed since the last
Yeah.
episode. But I'm just hoping that chuckle is a reunion with L3.
That'd be
Probably.
good.
I mean, he's
Oh
wearing
my
the yellow
gosh!
shirt.
Oh my
and-
gosh! Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that,
So
Jay.
waiting for that.
That would be an interesting take because in the novelization of Solo, L3 merged with the programming and basically lost her identity.
Right.
So, that wouldn't be the first time that they.
I think he
Kinda
found the first
retcons it.
droid socket he could find on that Falcon, and
Oh,
Be a big claim.
Lando came to play.
But then we have we saw him the new droid at the panel, but then there was a shot of BB-8 and Dio doing that little head cock thing to the side.
Okay, so Joe Tavano made a Dio reference to me earlier, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Haha, that's funny, Joe." What?
Oh, well, you didn't see the episode 9 panel, did you?
I missed it.
Yeah, well, they
I'm-
introduced Dio. He rolled out on stage during the middle of that.
I'm a bad
New droid.
podcaster.
They're just making all the droids cuter and cuter and cuter.
and smaller and more
smaller.
compact.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Eventually it's
I
gonna be
did
this.
not fall in love with Dio the way that I fell in love with BB-8.
Well, he's he
He
doesn't
looks
have the
like
big
a
puppy dog guy
megaphone.
on
He just
it.
looks like a megaphone on a stick with a wheel.
Right.
So
He
it's
looks
going to
like-
take some time for me to warm up to him.
He looked like a droid overlord.
No one loves the mouse droid, and to me, he's like on this par with a mouse droid.
I thought that
Mouse
too,
droid.
Tim.
I like
I
them,
love
but
me some mouse droids. Come on.
sorry.
I'm all good with the mouse droids.
nothing
This
bad
is the
about mouse
first
droids.
droid, though, that I must say that I'm not like instantly. Oh, it's a droid.
Did anyone notice like the sound that Dial or whatever his name
Yeah.
is? It sounds like you guys ever heard the clangers? It's
Clangers?
Like, yeah, it's like the stop motion animation, but it's like a UK series
No, I'm not
that's
familiar with
really
that one.
old.
It's-
Yeah, the clangers.
Interesting.
You're hitting something in the back of my memory.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
the tweets and the sounds that Dial made was I thought very similar to that.
So, that's interesting. I'm not familiar with that show. To me, Dio kind of came off as a muted BB-8 a little bit.
Alright.
But so moving on a little bit, there is a pursuit scene, and it looks like Finn and Poe and 3PO, at least, and there may have been other characters, were on some sort of a modified skiff, getting pursued by First Order speeders and rocket troopers.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that idea that we're getting this blending of elements from across the saga and having the skiff. But did anyone else have any observations on that?
So my friends texted me and they were like, "This feels so OT. This scene
Yes.
right here.
Jabba.
This is
That's the
awesome."
first thing I thought of too
And-
was Jabba, sail barge, and the skiffs and everything.
And
yes.
well done. I mean, if you're pulling that emotion that I still haven't felt because I have never watched the trailer. No, I've watched it 2 times. I mean, good job though. That's what I'm saying. If my friends came to me and they were like, "I feel great about this. This is why," and they sent me that picture specifically, then
OT
they're doing a
fans.
good job.
I have to say, in that scene, I focused on 3PO. It feels like to me, and I'm not going to go into the whole practical effects versus CGI discussion, but you can tell when it's not a man in a suit when it's 3PO, and it felt to me the way he's hugging that post, it didn't feel like Anthony Daniels. It's just something about the physicality of 3PO in that cut.
Look at his wrist.
Yeah, exactly. 3PO does not do that.
Yeah.
Lando just showed me a picture of the of the wrist of 3PO, and he's
Yeah.
moving in
Can you
ways
see
that
it, Sam?
Anthony
Everybody
Daniels
listening
does
at
not
home.
do.
Can you see
You can
it?
see the phone right now. So what do you
But
say
I'm not.
about-
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's something I noticed.
Well, the
how-
thing
so-
that came out to me is like the rocket troopers. That would seem like a callback to Rebels.
Yeah.
And a little bit of
Good
Clone
point.
Wars there.
Yeah.
Because, the only real rockets we saw on troopers well, not even troopers, Boba Fett. Return of the Jedi, and how well did that work? It was more of a short boost jump type of thing as opposed to pursuit mode.
Yeah,
of the Clones.
science.
Attack of the Clones. Django. Bzzz.
Oh,
That's true. That's true. But it was.
Yeah,
but I
more
really
people.
like that addition to the trailer.
I love me some Attack of the Clones.
And
And also, you
Amen.
love C-3PO
Fist bump.
wrist, apparently.
And then there's the we get our shot of Leia, and she's hugging Rey, and Rey is tearing up about something, which I don't know. We saw there was someone was holding a medal, which I don't know. I think were we supposed to assume that was
The
Hans?
Yavin
I think it was
medal. It was the
Hans.
me-
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was maybe Leia gave it to Rey.
Okay,
perhaps.
so as the only scoundrel here who braved the lines to the celebration store today, bravely braving lines, bravely, there was an item there that was a medal for A New Hope, from A New Hope. It was Han's medal. And I remember looking at it going,
Wait, did it say Han's medal? Or did it just say Yavin 4 medal?
it didn't say Han's,
'Cause Luke
Han's
got a medal
device.
too.
I
Luke-
mean, you
Was
know,
it packaging Han's medal?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
shut
Well,
up.
we know it wasn't Chewie.
Both of you, just shut up. It was Han's medal. I didn't read it close because I don't
So what
read.
is your
Sorry,
point?
I can't read. I can't read.
Taxus, what's
Thank
your
you,
point?
Dennis.
So my point is, like, I was wondering,
There's merch.
why are they
involved.
pushing this merchandise right now with a medal? You know what I
Well,
mean?
okay,
Like
but
they
the thing
push the
is-
dice.
The lanyards at Orlando, the special edition lanyard you could order at Orlando was the medal too. So I don't know that that's necessarily a clue.
Curse you, Dennis.
All right.
No, I mean, I didn't understand what it was, though. I mean, they had a ton of them, and I was like, obviously this means something, but I'm really busy because I'm trying to get, like, Blues Brothers T-shirt for
Thank
Tim
you.
McMahon. I'm
Thank
just
you, I
saying.
appreciate that.
So, and I just, like, completely glowed over it. But now that
Okay,
you
but I
mentioned
don't
that-
think you can
were
necessarily
right.
ascribe to
Got it.
the merchandise necessarily being a hint as to episode 9 when there's merchandise from across the saga.
Right.
I guess I get my point
look at the
there.
Rico Lee Yeah.
But
Action figure.
but anyways, so as I was bringing up earlier, we see Leia and Rey. We get our only shot of Leia in the trailer, which was good to see because since Carrie Fisher's no longer around.
So do you think that's going to be early on in the movie? Like they're just going to be like, oh, Leia, bye.
Yeah.
Well, no. JJ said that they had enough footage that they actually wrote a lot of the script around what
Scenes
they
around
had.
her, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she is definitely going to have a pretty substantial presence.
Yeah, and not to recap the panel, but he did say that they were, as Jay was saying, able to write scenes around it so that, because they didn't want to, just have her disappear, and they didn't want to recast, and there was no thought that they were ever going to digitally recreate her.
Right.
Sure.
So they were able to come up with story elements around her her presence.
That's smart.
So then
What'd you like?
the teaser culminates in the scene of Rey and Poe, Finn, and 3PO and BB-8. I don't believe R2-D2 is there. But they emerge from a beach that overlooking the ocean, and there's a big chunk of the Death Star, or what appears to be the Death Star,
Is that
sitting
what that
there.
was?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't
Okay.
figure that out.
Yeah, check it out. You see it now, don't you?
We're looking at visuals for the
Okay.
listeners at home.
The laser dish.
Yeah,
Oh,
Now
the
you see.
focusing dish.
No, you see.
Oh, I
No,
see
you
it
see.
now. It's like looking at one of those ink blot paintings. What do you see here? I thought it was honestly like a frozen wave when I first saw it, but I'm half
interesting.
blind.
Okay, so I thought it was like a mountainside that was just like a cliff thing.
Or a
I
half
saw it
pipe.
2 times.
So if it's
Pipe.
part of the Death Star question, which Death Star?
I have an answer.
And,
Tim,
okay,
please take it
let's
away.
hear
And I
it.
want to give shout out to my good friend Craig Chenery.
Nobody cares about that right now.
Okay, anyway, he's
Okay,
the one
go
who
ahead.
pointed it out to me. The laser dish, the focusing eye of each Death Star is different. The Death Star 1 had a circle within the circle.
Yes.
And if you look closely at that photo, you can see the circle within the circle if you blow it up.
So this must be
That
Yavin?
they're either on Yavin 4,
Oh.
which is the home of Poe Dameron.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah.
And it's
Well, that's
also
interesting.
Cyber
That's
Jedi.
interesting because here's the thing. It's like this is followed up by the real big surprise of the cackle from the Emperor
Yeah.
that we
Whoa.
hear.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my friend could be wrong.
And to the end, to that extent, when this teaser ended, Ian McDermott came out on stage and
Yes.
said, "Rule it again." And then they played it again. And so, I guess for me, is the Emperor never set foot on the first Death Star, and it was
Yeah.
supposed to be some sort of a tie to the Death Star and the Emperor. Again, this is speculation.
Yeah.
But you would think it would be Death Star 2,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it crashed on someplace on the forest moon of Endor.
And that he would have survived.
But he did sign like the first beam that was installed in the Death Star. It was like all the luck, Palpatine on the bottom. So no, but that's a good point.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I'm with you, Dennis. I kind of feel like when somebody finally explained to me that it might be the Death Star, which it probably is, just saying. I went to the second one because I was thinking, and somebody said that's a moon of Endor, not Endor itself.
Endor
But
was a moon.
wait a minute. Endor. Yes, you're right.
Endor
Yes,
is
you're right.
Sanctuary
Lady.
The forest
And
moon of Endor.
it wasn't all forest, as we saw in.
Droids? The cartoon?
I don't know, or other things. You know what I mean? The movies, the
Ewok
little,
movies?
the made for
Ewok-
TV.
oh,
Yeah, I forgot what they were called. Thank you very much, Lander. So yeah, we saw there was different terrain. In fact, wasn't there desert at some point in the Ewok movies that they? All right. Lando is shaking his head
Okay,
up and down right
that's all fantastic, but I don't believe for
Because
a
it's
second
from
that
me.
JJ and them are taking their cues from the Ewok movies for flooding
bringing
up
the
this
Ewoks
movie.
back to
deep.
close
That's
out
like
the
deep.
Yeah, it's the.
If they did.
What about the theory
If
of
they did.
Endor Armageddon that when the Death Star 2 blew up, it fell to the moon and that destroyed the environment of Endor?
I hate to
Oh, now you're going
squash
robot
it,
chicken
but-
on
like
us.
it.
But
I like it.
I think that's even a little too dark.
All I can see is the robot chicken episode. I always have to mention robot chicken.
So we have one last thing to discuss here, and the teaser concludes with the reveal of the title, The Rise of Skywalker. So this reminds me exactly of all the debates we had with The Last Jedi. Who is the Last Jedi? Is it Luke? Is it Rey? Is it somebody else? And now we have The Rise of Skywalker. Well, which one are we talking about?
Okay, so first of all, I said it was going to be an R. So can I
account.
just say I was right?
Starts with a T. The starts with a T.
But I know. Okay. Whatever.
HSO coming. Okay.
All right. So Colby One and I had this discussion, and we both feel that it's either going to be Kylo Ren rising to embrace his Skywalker heritage and come back to the light, or we're going to see Hayden, because guess what? When he became Vader, what was the word that Palpatine said to him?
Oh, good one.
Rise.
Lord Vader.
Lord Vader. So now Rise Skywalker
missed that
turning
part.
back to the light. Hayden's gonna visit Kylo, turning back to Ben. Skywalker has risen. Boom. End of story.
Yeah, but Kylo Solo. I mean, I'm just saying.
But he's got Skywalker blood.
Unless they do like some sort of South American like naming convention or something
Well,
like
who-
that,
who-
like he's gonna take the maiden name.
But who did he emulate? Who was his hero?
Grandpa.
Exactly.
um,
See that?
Yep.
Ta-da.
okay, all right, I'm
Boom.
gonna accept that. That's fine.
That's our theory anyway.
All right, I'm just gonna go with like Occam's razor. All right.
Okay.
Most obvious.
Really? Is it the simple solutions that you're going to
Most obvious thing. I'm going for
It's obviously
Schrodinger's cat.
Finn. Finn is the Skywalker. No, I mean
And those kids.
Thank you. So no, I mean I don't know. I still feel like Rey at some point. You know my whole like gaslighting theory with Kylo in the last season. Like you're nothing. Daddy told me you're nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
You think he was
you know,
baiting her.
but I think he was baiting her. I think he was intentionally deceiving her like that. And so, I don't know. I'm open-minded. If I want to like
Well, there's multiple ways that
hypothesize.
Rey could be a Skywalker without Luke being her dad.
Yeah, they sure are, buddy.
So-
But yeah, I kind of feel like Rey is maybe. I think it might be Rey. That's who they're talking about.
What do you guys think about? She's a clone from his hand.
Too legendsy.
Going
No.
back to the
That's what Joe
rumors
Romano
from I
thinks.
like this. All
That's-
right.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
Joe
personally
Romano
not. I
thinks.
mean, if it is, it is. But I'm personally not a fan of the clone theories.
You don't like
but-
hand
Well,
clones?
there was one scene Star Wars in the Class posted of Rey that we saw her with the lightsaber down at her side that looks almost identical if you frame it to Han
Oh,
when
From,
he met
Solo?
Yes, from Solo.
oh, yeah.
So is that an
Everything's
interesting
George
reference?
Lucas.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
I think
it's poetry.
I think it's Luke, the Rise of Skywalker. I think Ryan went in the direction that JJ didn't want Luke to go, and I think he's trying to begin to make things right again,
Oh, I disagree with you completely.
and close out the whole 9-movie Skywalker
See,
saga on a good
okay,
note.
so I thought about the passage Skywalker concept, and it started confusing me, so I stopped thinking about that. But good job. No, I'm playing. I mean, seriously, I thought about something like that, and I still don't understand like how that would be germane to us. You know what I mean? Because everybody that's passed in the Force, all we see is when they come back at a certain point in time, and they're glowing blue, and they're like, hey, you're screwing up here, or hey, go see this person so you don't screw up in the future. You know what I mean? And I've never really felt like those kind of people, like they're really, really hitting the storyline and making it propel. You know what I mean? Anytime we see them, it's always to help the hero do something better. You
Their
know what I mean?
exposition. They're there to
Right.
drop a couple nuggets and then go
Thank
away.
you. So when I thought about the Rise of Skywalker, I immediately went to Luke, and I thought, well, that just feels out of place. Why would you make
Well,
the
here's
thing? You
here's
know
the
what
thing.
I'm
It's
saying?
like is it potentially more than one Skywalker? Just like we had more than one Jedi in the Last Jedi. Maybe it is Anakin. It is Luke. It is Leia. It is
all of them.
Kylo. It could be the
Right.
entire Skywalker clan. And this whole thing is the punctuation mark at the end of our story. You can have a book where one of the chapter titles becomes the novel title. And that might be what we're going for here, which is the Rise of Skywalker. And we're not necessarily talking about just one.
Good point.
So like octopus versus octopi.
No, not like that at all. All right, well, that is going to do it for our recap of the teaser trailer. So, Scoundrels, we hope you enjoyed that. It's been great having all of us in one place.
Indeed.
Thank you to our special guests
You're
for
welcome.
showing up.
I appreciate it.
If you want to find us on social media, we are SQPod on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at facebook.com/SQPod. You can email us at sqpod@retrozap.com. You can follow Darth Taxus on Twitter at Darth Taxus. Jay is at Joyce Krebs, and I am at DJKVER2. We are we are a proud part of the RetroZap.com podcast network. The network currently features more than a dozen shows covering everything from retro gaming, movies, collecting, and a ton of Star Wars. You can subscribe to the network feed and get them all in one place. We'd love a review wherever you listen to your podcasts, and tell your friends, especially the ones that like Star Wars, about our show. And if you're at Celebration, this is a great time to do it.
Heck yeah.
And come get a pin, a button
Buy me a
from
beer.
us.
Or
Don't
two.
do
And help them subscribe if they don't know how. We really appreciate it. That will do it for this Scoundrel Special Edition. We'll be back soonish after
point.
we get back and recover from Celebration, and we'll have a lot of stories to tell once we do.
I might not make it.
So until then, Scoundrel Nation, thanks for joining us, and may the Force be with you.
Hey, you got a good voice. You should really do something with podcasting, Tim McMahon.
Yeah, you're not going to make it because
I
I'm going
don't
to
know.
impale
It's
you
kinda
with my
weird.
vent.
Whoa! Hey, it's been a long time since I had that happen.